What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I know, right? It's been a minute. We here. Charlene Edwards, how are you? How are thou? Hope you're wonderful. I hope you're all feeling good for the split today for NVIDIA. Hope you were invested. Hope you invest afterwards. Hope you invest in some semiconductors. If you've been on our Wednesday shows on Wednesday night, you know what I'm talking about. Space, the final frontier. For those that are Trekkies, I come in peace. For those that are Gen Zers and don't know what this means, I'm sorry. You need to ask your mama and your daddy, or maybe your grandmama or your granddaddy. Come in peace. Maybe I should get some ears. Spock, I come in peace. Nerd reference. Leonard Nimoy. I'm sure y'all have never heard of him. Are there any Trekkie fans out there? How about Dune? Are there any Dune fans out there? How about Doctor Who? Are there any Doctor Who fans out there? I don't know where they're at tonight, D. They're not out there. It's okay. It's all right. You funny, D. Real funny, D. What's going on, ATL? You know when the music be coming on, uh at the desk I be doing the Tootsie Roll. I be like, do, do, Don't ask me why I be doing the Tootsie Roll. I just do. I be like, cotton candy, sweet as gold. Let me see you Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll. Don't ask me. I just be doing the Tootsie Roll. For those that don't know, go ask your mama and them. Go ask your mama and them. What episode are we on, D? What episode is this? What episode is this? 34? Oh, it's so behind. This ain't even at 100 yet. We slacking. We need to do a Foolish Finance Friday two-parter. We need to do one in the morning and one at night. We slipping on our pimping. We slipping on our pimping, baby. I'm looking to see all the other shows that we are supposed to have for tech stocks and jobs. I am looking to see not tech stocks and job, but Triple F Friday. I'm looking to see where all of those old shows are at because there are shows that we have not done. And I'm looking to see if there's information in the shows that I want to talk about. The South got something to say. I'm looking. I got my stuff up, but I'm just looking. I think tomorrow I want to talk about Social Security tomorrow. I think that's what I want to talk about. Cause I was doing I pulled some stuff on my own social security, and it was saying in 2034 that for every $1,000, right now you would get, like, say you supposed to get back $5,000 in social security, you would get that $5,000, but in 2034, for every thousand that you were supposed to get, you'll get $800, right? For every thousand you're supposed to get, you'll get $800 on that thousand. So you'll lose $200. So for every $1,000 that you were supposed to get, you'll lose $200. And that's starting in 2034. So in 10 years from now, instead of you getting your 4,000, say you're supposed to get 4,000, you'll get, well, 800 times 4, you'll get 3,200 versus the 4,000. And that's a big difference. What's going on, Solid Steps to Wealth? You said why we don't teach classes. I do teach. I teach every Wednesday. Every Wednesday. If you're not at the Wednesday class, you're missing out. Every Wednesday. Meetup.com/women in Linux. I teach every Wednesday. And I have so for the past 7 years. And in fact, we were tripling up on classes. I was teaching Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I said, no more. People got to be consistent. Like, the one thing about teaching that I don't like is, and it's going to sound derogatory, but people. That's what I don't like. And when I say that, meaning people can become inconsistent. So if we have a class from Monday through for every Wednesday, we're gonna go 3 hours. I expect for you to be there every Wednesday. So if you miss a class, most people are like, "Oh, you should record the class, or you should make sure that the stuff is accessible." So here's the one caveat about that. When you record the classes, people feel less obligated to show up. That's one. Two, the other thing about recording classes and having recordings of classes is when you start doing that, then you open up the opportunity for people to not necessarily steal your stuff, but duplicate your stuff. So either you have to, it's some risk in everything that you do. So you have to figure out what your risk tolerance is. Right. And so uh when when it's time for us to like have classes, I'm gonna use the old way how DeVry did it. What DeVry did was you have you go to school for that semester. If you miss 3 classes, you kicked out the program. you you kicked out the program. Come back and then they kick you out for like, I think they kicked you out for like 6 months or something like that. Like, you gotta wait, right? Because you got something that's going on that's more important. So that's one thing. Another thing about about teaching, it's I got a ton of material. It is it is people being consistent enough outside of the class to study and to get ahead. That's usually the issue. But I don't have a problem with teaching. I have a problem with people being consistent. It's a people problem, right? And even if and listen, the people say charge people. Let me tell you something. If you like me, or anything like me, you could charge me and I still may not show up because I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. So Even that still, you still have people that don't show up, right? You're like, oh, it depends on how much you charge. Listen, if I don't feel like it, I ain't doing it. Right? So that's just my thoughts. My rule of thumb. All right. I hope y'all had a good week. Um, we're gonna get into some conversations tonight. We're gonna move some needles. We're gonna have some jokes. We're gonna have some laughter. And then on top of that, you're gonna have something to take away from this. All right. So let's get started, and let me see where I want to start at first. Mm-mm-mm. They don't know who we be. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Okay. So keeping in line of the stocks, I'm probably gonna go over this tomorrow. But let's talk about it for a minute. Everybody's always like, "Oh, you need to invest in tech. You need to invest in yourself. You need to invest blah 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 blah. Invest, 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 invest." Oftentimes, there's not any type of guidance on how, or it's just way too much information. So, one of the first things you should probably want to do, and I'll talk about this more tomorrow, is set you up a spreadsheet, or you can use an online tool. But I like to use the spreadsheet; makes me hold myself accountable. But I'm looking for APIs and so forth and so on. Like Charles Schwab has APIs, Fidelity has APIs, Webull, Robinhood, they all have APIs, right? And one of the big things that I like to do is go into all my accounts and check them. I'm a checker, right? Right. People are like, oh, you shouldn't look at it every day. You should only look at it, just invest it and forget it. I'm not her. I need to see how much the needle is moving. I have my thought process, right? One of my big goals is right to make $1,000 a day. You can make $1,000 a day in the market, but to make 4,000, $5,000 a day, now that's a big ask. So where am I coming up with this? And then talk about we're gonna get into some stuff and Foolish Finance Friday and so forth. So let me pull this up and let me pull my calculator over. All right, so I say $1,000 a day. There's 30 days in a month, uh, minus weekends, so it's 22 days you're actually working in a month, right? Give or take. Some people work on weekends, but typically you work Monday through Friday. So 22 days a month. Oh yeah, my screen is being shared. All right. So 22 days a month. And multiply that by $1,000 a day, and then multiply that by 12. That's $264,000 a year. $264,000 a year, right? Now, imagine if I could do, let's go with $5,000 a day times 22. And now that's 110 a year. I mean, that's 110 a month, and multiply that by 12. That's 1.32 million in a year. How can you do that? How can you do that, right? How can you make $5,000 a day? But start with the basics. How can you make $100 a day? How can you make 200? How can you make 300, 400, 500, up to 1,000? Right? What does it look like? And sometimes, some people play options. Some people don't play options at all. Some people just invest in certain stocks that got a good growth. Some people do covered calls. Some people do cover I mean, it's covered calls. Some people do puts. Some people don't even invest in the stock market at all. They just do straight real estate or precious metals and golds. It depends on I'll say it depends on your risk tolerance. It depends on how savage you want to be and so forth, right? But keep up with where your money is going. You need to know where your money is going, right? So I've been in my I've been in my mode of like, oh, if it ain't making me $1,000 a day, I don't want it. What I gotta do? I've been on their necks. Look, why this ain't doing what it's supposed to do? I'm on your neck. You said this said it was gonna do this. This ain't what it's doing. I'm just on your neck, right? Understand how your IRA works. Understand how your 401k works. Understand your contributions, your match, your RSUs, your vesting schedules, all that stuff. You need to understand all that. Put a one in the chat if this makes sense to you. Put a one in the chat if it makes sense to you. All right, so let's go. So I found all these different sites. This is just one of the sites. I've got another site that I'm gonna go over tomorrow. This one is called Capital Trades. You say, Tamika, what is Capital Trades? Well, these are the trades that the politicians are doing and investing in. You want to know what they're doing and what they're investing in? It's all right here. By state, you want to know what they're doing in Florida? You want to know what they're investing in Arkansas? You know what? Want to know what the different parties are doing? You want to know what committees, the house committees that they're in front of the senates and so forth. We can find that out. It's all being tracked. So, with that being said, let's go. And you can see here, I could track this back for 3 years, 180 days, 90 days, 30 days, and so forth. Who's doing what and when, how, and where, and what they're investing in. And and there's another site, I'll bring it up tomorrow, that shows you how much they're worth. How much they're worth, right? How much they're worth. You think they not investing? Like the little boy say, bullshit. Bullshit. Mr. Tom Carper, 577 trades. Delaware, 11 filings. What that person was investing in, Vanguard, Pacer, Pro Shares, sold some Pro Shares there. And you can explore the trades of Mr. Tom Carper, right? With the amount, you can see here the amount, the number of shares, and the price, right? And why does this matter to you? Well, it should matter to you. It's the same way people follow um whatever Berkshire York is doing. They follow whatever Elon Musk is doing. Did y'all see the payout for Elon Musk? Did y'all see the $56 billion payout that they're hassling over for Elon Musk? Pull that over. Next Thursday, Tesla shareholders will vote on Elon Musk's proposed $56 billion pay package. It's the highest ever executive compensation package in history. 56 billion. How many children Elon got? 9? No, Elon had 9 children. 11. He got 11 children. 11. He got 11 children. Elon Musk has 3 children with singer Grimes, is the father of 8 other kids, including 2 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets. 11 children. His net worth is $286 billion. He's about to get another 56 billion. He got 11 children, 3 baby mamas. He is the Pookie of tech. He is the Pookie of tech. And he out here mating with Pookisha. He is the Pookie of tech mating with Pookisha. When do you not be a Pookie? Is there a number? Is there a wage? Is he a high value Pookie? Tell me. Let me know. Is he a high value Pookie? This is Foolish Finance Friday. I'm here. I'm Tam. D is in the back. We are petty. Is he the Pookie of tech? And has he created Pookishas? He's got 11 children, 3 baby mamas. D, right. Has he hit the wall? Is the wall undefeated for Elon? I'm asking questions. He's 52 years old. Jeff is 60. Mark is 40. His first baby mama is 36. You say he's intelligent and he uses it well. I agree. He's on the government he's on the government titty though. He get funding from the government. Don't think he don't. So does Amazon, so does Google. I just got questions. At what point do we have do we say somebody is a Pookisha or a Pookie? Does it matter when it comes to your money? What qualifies you as a Pookie and what qualifies you as a Pookisha? Oh, I ain't mad at the government titty now. It's sup. It's supple. Right? I'm asking questions. At what point do we call people Pookishas, Pookie? If she's a woman that has, I don't know, a wealth of 30 million and chooses to go out and mate with a guy and become a single mom, is she a Pookisha? I'm asking. Do we have a number? Like, because I don't know. I'm just saying, sounds like a double standard when it comes to a woman versus a man. I'm just asking, is there a double standard? I'm asking. All right, I'll leave it alone. Just asking. I'm just asking if is he a Pookisha? Is Nick Cannon a Pookie? Is Nick Cannon or Pookie? Nick Cannon has 12 kids. He don't have as half as much money as Elon. They say Nick is worth 50. I'm a double it and say Nick probably worth 100. I'm gonna give Nick the benefit of the doubt. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make Nick a billionaire. I'm gonna give him a billion. I'm just gonna randomly give Nick a billion. Is he a billionaire Pookie? Is he a billionaire Pookie? Let's call them all to the red carpet since we on a roll. It's Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, y'all. Is he a Pookie? Does it go by the number of kids? Does it go by the number of affairs? Does it go how you get caught? What determines someone being a Pookie and a Pookie should and it does a certain money cut it off? I was just asking because we like to throw these words around. She's a Pookisha. He's a Pookie. Just asking. Once you hit over 4 kids, you're doing a lot. Okay. Can Is it okay that he does a lot if he the man waiting on $56 billion? Does it matter? Let's say now I have not heard I have not heard anybody complaining about child support from Elon. I haven't heard. Just saying. Just asking questions. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he got, he be out he be getting with the girls from IHOP. I'm not knocking the chicks from IHOP for the come up. That's the come up. He go in the Waffle House and he's like, I could change your life. Mm. He Tiger is the quintessential. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tiger is going to be Tiger is gonna be in there. He's like, look, you ain't gotta do this, baby. Tiger's like, look, baby, please. You ain't gotta you ain't gotta serve her up them chopped, covered, smothered, and scattered. You ain't gotta do that. Just come be with me for a day, baby. I got you. You wanna go shopping? I got you. Tell them what you want. Send me the list. I got it. Can you imagine Tiger dancing like Cisco? Tell me what you want. He got the hop. He get the hop. All I got in my head. I guess somebody got to make that meme. Tiger Woods dancing like Cisco with "Let me see that thong." Estella, yeah, it does. Dun 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 dun. Here I come. He is the Superman. He is the Superman. Hey, these are just jokes. No, don't take offense to my jokes. I just be asking questions because I be wanting to know what makes a Pookie and a Pookisha, and it doesn't matter if the person has money. Does that make them not a Pookisha or a Pookie? I just want to know. And if it's a number, what is the number? Is it 200,000? Is it 500,000? Is it 600,000? Is it a million? Is it a billion? Yeah, Tiger be at Dennis. He be at all of them. I'm just asking. Mm, we can't say HVP, Dia. We can't say HVP. HVP. High value Pookie. I'm just asking. These are questions. Socially, you feel like the number is half a million, but what's the ratio of kids to half a million? If you say half a million, is the ratio 1 to 2 kids at half a million? But if you at 3 million, that's 3 kids. Like what's the ratio of kids? Is it infinite if you're getting 56 billion in a payout and you worth 208 billion? Is it infinite? Is it infinite? Right. So back to why I have this up. I had this up because this is a way for you all to go track the trades of the politicians in your states. You want to know what your politicians are doing in your states? This is how you track that. All right. So let's go look at Georgia. Taylor Green, 3 filings. You can see she was on a buying spree. Right? You can see she was on a buying spree. She bought some treasury bills. She's in Berkshire Hathaway B. Right? She bought some treasury bills. She bought T bills. She bought some Home Depot iShares. Right? You want to know where they at? What they doing? Where they investing at? Everybody's worried about what political stance these politicians are taking. The question is, what financial stance are they taking? What financial stance are they taking? Right? They telling you something else, but you go check their financial facts. That's what I would be looking at. What they investing in? Are they even investing in companies in their own state? Are they supporting companies in their own state? You should want to know that. You can't be for this for my state and you ain't invested in no company in my state. Why? What's going on there? She and Charles Schwab, right? Rick Allen, Buddy Carter, Austin Scott. No trade activity, or they had it locked down. Exactly. They argue laws on tech and at the same time invest. That's my point. That's why I'm like, you should be looking at not what they're saying, what are they doing? We be so worried about what people say, we don't even realize what they doing. Go look at what they doing, where they invested at, what zip code they living in, what laws are they trying to change locally, what boards they sit on, what companies are they involved with. That's what you should be looking at. If you gonna play political, play political. The taxes, the laws, the infrastructure, things that affect you locally, right? What laws are they passing? What is Pete Sessions? Let's look up Pete Sessions. Is Pete Sessions a Pookie? All right, Pete Sessions. He's worth 2.7 million. Pete Sessions is invested in oil and gas, retail sales, Boeing, and Verizon. That was in 2017, right? That was in 2017. Pete Sessions from Texas, 17, to sell Invista Holdings Corporation stock. What are they and why are they buying and why are they dumping? You need to be looking at all of that. You talking about you want to go vote for somebody? You going to elections and voting? Go look and see what they're investing in. He invested in Apple, Costco, Microsoft. He sold some Apple. He probably took some gains. He took some gains. He been in there since 2023. He took his gains. He was in it for a year. He was in this one for a year, and then after he got out of it, he made his money. He took his gains, and he went back and bought again. Session has displayed strategic foresight with a notable investment move, investing $360 in Apple stock. His decision holds significance in the light of Apple's recent move to reverse blocking web apps in the EU. Blah blah blah. Right? You say Bernie Sanders. All right. Let me see how far back this go. This is 2014. Let's see what he did in 2018. He had 27 assets in 2018. They got a CSV file, but here we go. TIAA Valic. It's a mutual fund. Remember, mutual funds try to beat the market. Mutual funds try to beat the market. Yeah, he's a mutual fund holder. Go look at Valic small cap. Let's look at Valic mutual fund. Let's go. Try to beat the stock market. It depends on which one he invested in too. Valic, Valic fund list from Morningstar. Right. Low cost. Let me shrink that down. Here we go. We can go right here and we can sort here. All right. So Valic VCSTX returns 19.30%, 19.3%. Growth, a large growth here, 18.89. And one that follow the Nasdaq, and is that then you got the large blend and foreign large and so forth, right? So I guarantee you he probably up here VCSTX. The expense ratio kind of high, but they won't let me dig into it. I'll have to open up my chart swap and go into it. But going and looking, seeing what they investing in versus what they talking about, and what moves are they making, and what companies are they talking to, and what boards they sit on. That's gonna give you a lot of insight into that person. Yeah, I'm just telling you, follow the money. That's all I've been telling. Don't follow what they saying. Go follow what they doing. Right, and you can get that here. That's open secrets. You can get it on. For every person that say they're a Democrat, they also invest in something, some type of red companies, and everyone that says they're a Republican invest in some type of Democratic company. Don't don't fall for it, right? But Bernie in all of the Valak at that point in time, he in all of it. He got all the Valak mutual fund. He ain't playing about that. He got a brokerage account right here, and then cash money savings. He got an annuity, and this is back in 2018, right? That's just half of it. They ain't all of it, right? So the I'll talk more about this tomorrow. Capital trades. We'll dive off into that. I got a whole story behind that. All right, I just talked about Elon. Mark Cuban turned 91% of his employees into millionaires when he sold his company for $5.7 billion. I tell you all the time, find these small companies or these companies that have targeted specialties. Targeted specialties, and look and see where they're headed and who's on the board and where they're going. You want to get to be a millionaire? Here's the game plan. Most of those companies either stay around 5 to 10 years. 5 years they probably acquired. 10 years they'll probably sell. They built up wealth over time and they ready to sell. You too can be one on sitting on the side of the road, which and become a millionaire. Right? That's where your RSUs work. Who's gonna buy Amazon? Everybody want to go run work at Amazon. I get it, but who's gonna buy them? That's why people like going to the startups. But you got to find a niche that works. The startup game is probably a higher gamble than it is playing in the stock market, because you don't know what's gonna happen. You gotta believe in the story that's being told to you. You gotta believe that company is gonna do what it said it's gonna do, and you gotta put work into it to make it happen. Builder versus maintainer. What do you want to do? What do you want to be? You want to be a builder or a maintainer? Yeah, I've been telling them quantum is the new game. AI is being old, but no, we gonna be behind. We gonna be behind. We gonna in 5 years from now they're gonna be like, yeah, we on to everybody gonna be like, we gotta go to school now because we gotta get that quantum. Quantum is calling us. I'm like, man, I told y'all about that years ago. All right, so the company that the bigger acquisition, the larger payout, 300 of the broadcast.com. It was 330 employees at this company. It was called broadcast.com, and he sold it. It was an audio streaming service that he sold to Yahoo back in 1999. How many in 1999 looked like us at broadcast.com? All right. So, the bigger acquisition, the larger the payout. 300 of the broadcast.com 330 employees became millionaires when the audio service sold to Yahoo for 5.7 billion in stock in 1999. Cuban started the practice after selling his first company, a software firm called Microsolutions, for 6 million to CompuServe. He took 20% of the total sale. He tells CNBC Make It and paid it out to 80 employees, which would equate to $15,000 per staffer if distributed equally. Cuban did something similar upon selling his majority stakes in HDNet, now known as AXS TV, in 2019, and the NBA Dallas Mavericks last year. And only HDNet had any layoffs right after the sale. Right. He said he nearly went broke after his secretary stole $82,000 from his company. Upon selling Broadcast.com, Cuban received a large portion of Yahoo stock, which was considered highly valuable at the time. But instead of holding on to it, he quickly cashed out. He was happy with the money he earned and suspected that the stock market was overpriced. And he told GQ in 2022. It says last year Cuban sold a majority stake of the Dallas stake in the Mavericks to Alderson and the Dumont families who run Las Vegas Sands Corporation in a deal reportedly valuing the franchise of roughly 3.5 billion. He retained 27% ownership and control of basketball operations. The deal ended Cuban's longtime status as NBA majority owner in 2000. The newly minted billionaire purchased his initial stake for 285 million without negotiating or trying to push the price down by even a penny. So you always wonder how people become these billionaires or millionaires. It's the millionaires is in the equity. It's in the ownership. It's in the ownership. Now, I've told you about becoming a W 2 millionaire. I've talked about equity into companies. I've talked about RSUs. I've talked about how to make your minimum of 200,000. How to be strategic about your 401k plans that you, when you're working with these companies, 10% match or whatever, 25% in, 10% on in your 401k, whatever the case may be. But do that for 10 years. Stay down and do that for 10 years. Walk away, start investing. You should start investing long before that, but start consulting. Um, do your investments. You can do your investments over time. Um, I don't have that book out with me. Let me look and see where it's at. Hold on. Let me look. I don't think I have that book here. I mean, I have it here, but I don't think I have that book out. Let me look at my Kindle. Let's see. No, I don't. Let me go. Mm, mm, mm. It's not this book. There's another book, but this book works too. The Millionaire Real Estate Investor works. But there is another book that I have out there that I looked at where you could basically they're using W2 Millionaire to become use real estate as one on ones. You can use real estate and a combination of stocks as well too. You can do both. All right, so let's get on. Feds accused investor of a $4 billion pump and dump scheme. Pump and dump. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. All right. When Trillium offered to buy Getty Images for $4 billion in April 2023, the Boston based investment firm wouldn't disclose how it planned to finance the deal or how much money it managed. That's because Trillium didn't plan to actually buy Getty. Its brokerage account had just $17.32 in it. It had $17.32 in it. Murray, who has been both the CEO and the director of public companies, agreed to plead guilty to one count of securities fraud. Trillium and Murray also agreed to a settlement with the SEC that includes a ban on participating in securities activities, civil penalties, and disgorgement. I have no idea what disgorgement is. That is new to me. It's a remedy for requiring a party who profits from illegal or wrongful acts to give up any profits they made as a result of illegal or wrongful conduct. There you go. Misgorgement. Where is that article at? It's Walmart. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Is it down here? Right here. All right. He spent 6 months buying stock and options in Getty at an average of $5.51 a share and issued several press releases agitating for change. Getty, whose major backers include Koch Industries and Carlyle, largely ignored him. The stock closed at $5.06 share on April the 2023rd. Murray was underwater on both the shares and options, as was a personal friend he had told to invest. The following Monday, Trillium at 8:30 announced a non-binding proposal to buy Getty for $10 a share. The shares climbed in the pre-market trading. Within 1 minute of the market open, Murray was selling off his position. 1 hour later, he was completely out, and so was his friend. Murray did not close the security sales to inquire reporters, including from Axios, nor to several private equity firms he contacted after his sales about possibly backing the $4 billion bid. Pump and dump. People are watching. Let's close that one off. All right, we got Mark Cuban over here. Toyota to close its largest U.S. plant and cut 1,300 jobs. Cut 1,300 jobs. That was announced this morning. This is in Marion, Arkansas. Marion, Arkansas. So those folks are going to be looking for work. But check this one out. The Air Force awards $13 billion for a new fleet of doomsday planes. Follow the money. GCB begins work on its $500 million factory. They said they were operating at a loss of 189 million. So 1,300 people in Marion, Arkansas are out of work. 1,300. I agree with this, and I've been saying this. Florida is not so cheap compared with New York these days. I have been saying this. It's expensive to live in Florida. It's been expensive to live in Florida since 2011. It's really expensive now. People like, oh no, you can still find something good. Yeah, but where? Where is it? You're gonna have to live off the beaten path. Those earning 100,000, at least $100,000 a year, can still see significant savings from relocating states with no income tax. But as more people make the move, fueling higher rent and homes, the arbitrage on moving to Miami, Austin, and Dallas has eroded since 2019, according to data by Smart Asset. New Yorkers earning 250K won't save as much by moving to Texas or Florida. That 250 is gonna be gone. I was looking online the other day. Let me see. 300K. We gotta find this original right here. She makes 300K and she's broke. And people laughed at her. People laughed at her. She lives in California. Yeah, but that's Texas. We talking about Florida. It's the difference. You saying Ohio to Texas. I could agree with Texas. But we talking about Florida. Unless you're gonna live over in Tallahassee, maybe, or I don't even want to say Ocala. What is it, Spring Hill? Further out, it's different. It's different. It's different. You don't really see that savings. So I had to find her. I'll do a review on her myself because I disagreed with his take. No, not. Mm-mm. Let me go back to the article. The article is Florida is not so cheap compared to New York. Again, it depends on where you move in Texas. When you say Texas, are we talking about Austin? Are we talking about Houston or somewhere on the outskirts of Austin or somewhere on the outskirts of Houston? Are we talking about Dallas? Are we talking about some other city in Texas? Right? When people say these things, you got to be specific, right? Moving from New York to Austin, yes, you can buy a house. Yes. But in order to buy a house, you need to qualify for it. If you're making $100,000 in New York and you move to Texas and you make it 60,000, you may not qualify. Yeah, you're in Houston. Houston different than Austin. 15 minutes outside of Houston, I mean outside of Austin, totally different. Totally different lifestyle. I've been to both. You 15 minutes outside of Austin, you ain't doing nothing. Round Rock, you ain't doing nothing. Trying to tell you. Round Rock. Round Rock. 4 bedroom, 2 bath. Here's a 3-3. Let's go see. Let's go see what's wrong with it. What school district is it in? A rare flip. This property is selling as is, situated in a quiet neighborhood, providing future homeowners. Blah blah blah. Now, if you got kids, is it in a good neighborhood? That's the next problem. Let's go back. We're gonna go to Austin in a minute. Let's go check out Austin. Let's do get rid of that. To that. Most people want a 3-2. Now the question is, what's the school district it's in? What side of town is it on? Is it any good? 1,200 square feet, 2.89, 480, 700. The numbers change real quick, didn't they? Got a 485 right here. Now, do you qualify for it? It's the next question. How many people can qualify for a $500,000 home? Do they have the money? That's the question. And is it convenient and near anything? That's normally the question. Lamborghini Mercy, you said that was one of your original posts. In Slack, I guess I'm assuming. I don't see it, but it's all good. All right. So, do I agree that Florida is not so cheap? Absolutely. Even in certain parts of Tampa, like some people will go live in certain parts, but then they food deserts. It ain't safe. It's just crazy. It depends on where you want to be at. Depends on how you want to live. All right. So can Walmart store managers make $500,000 a year? This clip has gone viral, and people are like, "Oh, can they make 500,000?" Now, if you're on the tech side of Walmart, they're calling all their remote workers to come back to Arkansas. It's like you need to come to Bentonville if you want to work for Walmart. If you want to work for Walmart, you got to move back to You got to move to Bentonville. Bentonville, Arkansas. Here's Bentonville, Arkansas. 3 bedrooms. Here's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. In Bentonville. You can make it. You can live out here. D, you can do it. D is shaking her head. D, come on. Bentonville was fun for you. Look at that. You can live in Bentonville. They reasonable. They about 400. I don't know about this one right here, the 6-bedroom, 5-bath. But you can make it. You can buy your night. You can have a nice family in this 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square feet. You can make it out here. You can do this. Get you a little pup. You got a 3-car garage, 2-car garage. You got a little backyard. This is doable. This is doable. You could go live in Arkansas. Chips was living in Arkansas. He was selling property out there. Chips was selling property out there. You know what? Being remote is cool, but you know what? Only thing I miss about being remote is really not a lot because I'm also always working. Driving don't bother me. It don't bother me. What I do like is I don't have to be at work at a certain time. Like I don't need to be on at a certain time, right? I am on at a certain time. I don't have to be. 350K. Excuse me. 350K. I don't know why this is angled like this, but you can make it work. 2,700 square feet. It looked like they lifted the house from somewhere. It's on 7 acres. I don't know. Does Bentonville close at 6 o'clock? D. Did y'all know D used to live in Bentonville? See, D keep telling y'all she from California. She lying to y'all. She is from Bentonville, Arkansas. Hmm. She lying to y'all. Don't be listening to D. Okay. I'm gonna find out. We're gonna review that. I'll give y'all a breakdown of that. I understand why she broke because she ain't really making 300,000. It is on cinder blocks. It's slanted. I don't know why it was slanted like that. Like they picked it up and lifted it and was putting it on the cinder blocks and the back of the house fell off. It slid off. All right, 500,000. In an effort to boost retention, the retailer has sweetened the pay and stock incentives for its store chiefs, whose individual locations employ hundreds and exceed 100 million in annual sales. Can they make 500,000? Hold on. Let me log in. All right. Wait. Okay. Greg Harton has seen it all. Walmart Inc.'s procedures for managing schedules for hundreds of store associates keeping track of delivery vehicles, arrivals, and even operating gasoline pumps for customers had all become second nature. But earlier this year, he got some news about Walmart that shocked him. The retailer redesigned its compensation scheme in a way that would significantly increase the store manager pay with stock grants and bonuses. With the changes, Harden could make as much as $530,000 this year. I almost fainted when I found out, he says. 530,000. The world's largest retailer is rethinking one of its most important roles after falling behind the competition. A couple of years ago, Walmart's attrition rate for store manager spiked to almost double that of other big box retailers such as Home Depot, Target, and Target Corporation, according to data from Human Resources. The Revello Labs departures first first ticked up Walmart cut management ranks in 2010. So, young man could be on his way. He oversees 400 employees in his store in Dallas. Ladies, if you're in Dallas, roll on up on him, rub on his leg, like, sir, can you help me? I'm so damsel in distress. You gotta act like Blanche from you gotta act like Blanche from them from the Golden Girls. I'm so damsel in distress. I need you, sir. Sir, can you help a Can you help her? Can you help a sister out, sir? I need you, sir. Right? Damsel in distress. You can't go in and be like, I got it. You got to be like, ooh, and ooh. From there, the manager attrition gap between Walmart and its competitors widened as the pandemic brought new challenges and obsolete technology made the job onerous and clunky. When Vanessa Bennett started as a manager at Walmart in Grand Rapids, Michigan 2 years ago, she said she used an old computer with an outdated software for scheduling shifts. It was absolutely awful. She says of the technology. Manager Oscar Romero says his day began with 40 minutes of paperwork. I have to go through reports to look at my sales. If I wanted to look at inventory, I have to go to another report. Says Romero, who oversees about 550 people at the Walmart in Claxico, California, near the Mexico border. Souped up compensations is just the most recent in a string of changes made to improve managers' work life. New technology has cut down on hours of busy work. The new benefits include telehealth and a doula service. And a doula service, sir. Sir, you look like you need a legacy. Sir, you look like you need a legacy. Anyway, the initiatives have helped boost retention and lowered turnover rates in the last year, said Cedric Clark. Walmart's executive vice president of store operations. Engagement scores that measure how managers feel about their jobs have also risen. The company declined to share exact figures for either metric, but according to Revelo's data, Walmart's annual attrition rate has fallen by 2 percentage points in the last year to about 21%. Walmart made one of the most significant changes for managers in the years in January when they announced a significant boost in pay. They will receive annual stock grants as much as 20,000. Please go look up how much Walmart was traded today. Put that in the chat if he's getting $20,000 worth of stock. So you can do the 20,000 divided by how much you traded for. That's usually about the number of shares. It says average base salaries for store managers will raise to 128,000 from 117. The retailer also changed the way it calculates those bonuses. It will continue to evaluate sales, of course, but the profit generated by this manager's store will also play a bigger role. If you hit all targets, your bonus could be up 200% of your base salary. 200% of your base salary. Double dollar, y'all. Right? According to a note to managers from Clark, so a successful manager of high performance store can pass the 500,000 mark easily. Sir, you look like you need me. Hey, let me walk around and see where the gaps at are in your store. Well, you're not getting good customer service. Got to be like Blanche, right? Running Walmart is more complex than most retail jobs. A senior economist at Ravello stated. Jen Yang, the retailer's super centers average about 178,000 square feet, tend to be between 30,000 square feet and 50,000 square feet larger than Costco or Target. You can get all your steps on in Walmart in the super center, right? And they offer more services, including auto body shops and pharmacies. Many will have many warehouses in the back that move hundreds of pallets of products every day, and the sheer volume of sales is enormous. One Walmart manager estimates he sells a truckload of dog food a day. Right? Harton currently oversees 400 employees and more than 100 million in sales at the one of the biggest stores in the Dallas region in Grand Prairie. He is in Grand Prairie, ladies. He's not gonna be on Kendra G. He working. He working. He got to be there by 7 a.m. So y'all need to be there at 7 a.m. When he walking in, he probably walk in at 6. He walking in at since ladies, you gotta go to Grand Prairie, Texas. I'm trying to get you to get this man and have a legacy. Get this man a legacy. What's going on, Edie man? He is at the store getting feedback from overnight staff and checking the grocery section throughout the day. He makes sure aisles are full, price tags are visible, truck deliveries are on time. By the end of his 10-hour shift, he's 10 hours, he has walked 6 miles and talked to about 200 people. Before recent changes, his days were even longer. I worked at 5 a.m. religiously, probably 6 days a week, he says. There he is, ladies. Get a good look at him. Let me blow him up for you so y'all can go into the Walmart in Grand Prairie. Y'all say y'all want a tall, dark, and handsome. Here you go. Take him a brush so he can make sure his waves is good. Take him some on cloud sneakers so he can get some cushion when he walking. Drop him off for lunch. Swing by to say hi. Just tell him try to look. I'm out here. I'm trying to get you hooked up. He don't have no earrings in his ear. At least this side ain't pierced. He happy. He smiling. He excited about his job. Trying to hook you up. The burnout risk is high. The one manager told Bloomberg Business Week he left recently for a less intense job to pay at Walmart. Didn't make the stress and the long hours on his feet worth it. The attrition is expensive for one company. For Walmart, it comes with its own set of problems because the retailer tends to hire from within, and about 75% of this field management team began their careers as hourly employees. I was once a Walmart employee. I put my on. I was in the housewares department. I was stocking. I was doing the super savers. I was setting up end caps, pulling top from the back. I was over in the paint department mixing up your paint, shaking it up, matching, coming by, making sure you got what you needed, using the mallet. I was once a Walmart employee. I go out and help pull in the carts. I did it all. And I said no more. I just stopped going to work one day. It's like I don't want to do that no more. I'm over it. Y'all find somebody else. His name might be Greg. Store manager, his name Greg. Look at that. I'm helping y'all out. His name is Greg. He in Grand Prairie. He at work at 7 a.m. Y'all go check Greg out. You could be like, Greg, your lunch is ready. Y'all go know that check Greg out. Romero, the manager in California, checks the app first thing in the morning. Throughout the day, he uses his device to take photos of things to fix and to make to-do lists for his staff. I could pull out my app and it would tell me sales for the day, how many trucks I am getting, and whose birthday it is. Ultimately, improving the manager's work life is meant to boost the store sales, right? If we make it the best place to work, they in turn take care of the customer. Now listen, if you're gonna take care of your people, if you got people and you're gonna take care of them, you got to do more than just smile at them. You got to get them lunch. You got to get them some. You got to get them some gifts. Don't just say happy birthday. Shoot them a gift card, $20, and not $20, and then tell them take that $20 to go get them something to eat. Get them something to eat and the $20, right? Walmart business has been booming since the pandemic, even As some competitors have struggled, sales have grown about for 30%. Right. This article is long, but you get the gist. 500,000 working at Walmart. You could make it. Greg is on his way. Check him out. Check Greg out. All right. Let's see. Let's move this down. Indeed has 8% of its staff cut. Second layoff in 2 years. Is Indeed going down? What is the nature of Indeed? What is the nature of Indeed? Is it going to stay around? Will they go out of business? Let's do some research on them. All right. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Every 15 minutes, there's a new millionaire in this Asian country. India and investors in its stock market are getting rich quick. And this should give us pause because the United States makes the most millionaires, followed by China. When it comes to countries with the most millionaires in the world, the usual suspects still dominate: United States, Japan, Germany, and China. But India is rising up in the ranks quickly. The world's second most populous country saw its number of millionaires rocket more than 12% last year, far faster than any of its competitors. So reports consultancy Capgemini in its latest annual global. It says the emerging South Asian economic power now boosts 59,000 people with at least 1 million in investable assets. It says India minted 40,000 new millionaires last year alone. That's about one in every 15 minutes. One in every 15 minutes of millionaires, right? India is still a long way away from behind Asian rivals China with 1.5 million high net worth individuals and Japan at 3.8, let alone the United States, where the ranks of millionaires rose from 7% last year to 7.8 million, more than 7% last year to 7.8 million. If you're promoting a business that exists by selling to the newly rich, go east, young man or woman. If history is any judge, there'll be eager buyers of pointless, extravagant status symbols like temperamental sports cars, luxury watches, and high fee hedge funds. Next up is China, right? So I'm letting you know they on your coattails. All right, Foolish Finance Friday begins. Bobby, thank you for watching. All right, let's go. I got seriously burned. My financial advisor took me to lunch and bought my kids gift and had me invest 500,000 in annuities. What should I do? There's really nothing they can do. They have to take the penalty loss, their surrender fee, which could be, if they got to be in it for 9 years, depending on the how they set up their annuity, they may have to take that loss. Let's go. Let's blow it up so you can read it. We got some juicy ones today. I'm a female, 51, married with kids. I have major trust issues with financial advisor. After the advisor gained my trust, he befriended me, gave gifts to my kids, took me out for lunch, and sent me holiday cards before convincing me I should take all of my retirement from in 500,000 in SCP funds and put them in annuities. I was 35 when he did this, and I was clueless. When I finally learned 35, she should be able to get out of it now. When I finally learned I'd been scammed, it took me a decade to put my money out of various annuities little by little, year by year, or on the advice of an acquaintance who is well regarded personal finance reporter. I put that retirement money to another brokerage account with another wealth management company, and I was given a financial advisor. I told I told an advisor assigned to me that I was fee averse. He still put 1 million of my retirement funds into a managed account, which means almost all of it is in mutual funds. I told him I was concerned about the hidden fees in mutual funds and prefer ETFs or index funds. We have talked about this. I told you mutual funds do have fees, but their goal of their performance is to beat the stock market, whereas the ETFs usually run alongside of the stock market, right? But he strongly pressured me to stick with the active managed funds because he gets a management fee, probably. His reasoning: the best is to have people actively managing the fund in case something scary happens in the world. Every year I pay fees to have two calls with this guy. I learned nothing I couldn't have gleaned from the company's website for prospective investors. Another 10 years of this will cost me tens of thousands of dollars in fees for no financial advice. What should I do? Am I right to be suspicious of this advisor? He gives off used car salesman vibes. It is odd or fine that he put 1 million in various mutual funds. Should I bag my current broker and spend the money for a fee advisor for a fee only advisor to help me with my retirement investments, or do I ask the advisor to move me to managed ETFs or index funds? Now, the question is the mutual funds that she's in, to get out of those funds, how much does it cost? And to go into the ETFs or index funds, what's the PE ratio going into those funds? So there's a lot of things that she has to do that I wouldn't continue to deal with him personally if I told you not to do something and you did it anyway. Just my personal opinion. So what they say, hiring an advisor is a choice. And if you are feeling good about it, change. If you decide to keep him, you need to be proactive. Call him regularly, or he can explain exactly what is happening to your money, and put your request in writing and be firm about what you want. It's not a debate that you should win or lose. You have control. You have control over your own decisions. People worried about the economy have been drawn to annuities, and annuities are up, by the way, by the billions. I was just reading an article about that. For the second year running, U.S. annuity sales set an all-time high, according to Lamera Secure Retirement Institute. The total sales of annuities hit 385 billion in 2023, 23% higher than the record set previous year, and it's up again this year. For the 14th consecutive year, the S&P 500 outperformed the majority of the active U.S. large cap stock funds last year. The performance of 60% of all the active large cap U.S. equities trade funds trailed the S&P SPX according to the scorecard. Right, the price of the S&P 500 rose 24.2% to give a total return of 26.3. You have a decade until retirement to invest in CDs, high interest savings accounts, or stocks that you believe will be high growth or pay dividends. Right? Actively managed funds. There are three types of people who call themselves financial advisors. They may invest your money in ETFs or mutual funds, actively manage your finances, or give you overall advice and not even touch your money. Better advice does not always equate to disreputable used car salesperson. Right, now all money managers are fiduciaries, and that's another problem. Hold on. What about now? All right. Not all fund managers are fiduciaries, and that's another thing. So when you all are looking for a financial advisor, yes, do pay a fee. Don't get someone that's going to manage. The other thing is also get someone that is willing to have conversation with you to break things down. If you don't know something, skip it. If you don't understand something, no, right? You need to make sure that someone that you need to make sure you know what you're investing in. If it's too complex for you to understand, don't do it. Right? It doesn't make sense. Right? Most investment contracts include an arbitration clause for resolving disputes. For some clients, that's not ideal. FINRA and Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association, a trade group representing security firms, banks, and asset managers, argue that arbitration saves all parties time and money, right? The one thing is figure out your goals. A lot of you are probably in our traditional IRAs, or if you're not in IRAs, you have a 401k. Your IRAs are only going to let you do 7,000 a year. That's good for the most part, but it doesn't help if you have a large income and you're trying to reduce your taxable income. So you got to find ways to bring down that tax. So that's why sometimes most people offer you a Roth 401k. So you can do the Roth side. You can also do your traditional side, because there's no income limits. And then you can also have an IRA. Here's the one thing that's to let you know about IRAs. If you got a rollover IRA and an IRA, it's still 7,000 between the both of them, right? So you got to pick and choose where you want to invest at there, where you want to invest at, right? When you figure out how much you would need for retirement and what kind of expenses you would face, um, where you would like to live and what kind of lifestyle you would like to maintain, you need to figure that out. Another place you can use, and I'll go over this tomorrow. I ain't gonna bring it up tonight. I ain't gonna do it. Take me off my scope. I ain't gonna do it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Where you can look and come and use the Monte Carlo to come up with your investments. I know either man, I don't think you invest in stocks. I think you do real estate, which is fine. No, there's no problem. Like I say, not everybody wants to do stocks. Some people want to do real estate. All right, empower yourself by asking questions. You can start without dealing with a broker who works only on commission or even a fee-based financial advisor. All right, AARP's retirement calculator allows you to include many lifestyle factors and is based around three questions. Am I saving enough? When can I afford to stop working? And how long will my money last? That's one of the big questions people want to ask. How long will my money last? Right? I won't keep going in this because this article is super long. So we got other stuff to do. Here we go. Our prenup stirred up resentment. My husband, 62, lives in my home. I pay for his credit card, car loan, vacations, and groceries. And now he wants to pool our assets together. I'll read it again. Our prenup stirred up resentment. My husband, 62, lives in my home. He said, my husband, 62, lives in her home. I pay for his credit card. She sounds like Shirley. Is it Barbara? Who pays in that conversation? This is Shirley. The car he drives, I pay the note on it. Is that Barbara? Right? Car loan, vacations, and groceries. Now he wants to pool our assets together. He has 1.2 million invested. I have close to 5 million in investments. My husband and I got married 3 years ago. I am a 60-year-old widow. John is 62 and was married and divorced twice. I have 3 adult kids who are completely financial independent. His 4 kids, two from each marriage. John's older 2 children who are in their late 30s are very successful. The younger two, his son 31 and the daughter in her mid-20s, have not made great life decisions and are still relying on their father for financial support, which is ongoing. His 31-year-old son has 4 very young children with his partner, double quote. They both consider themselves single and yet they live together, and she would like a fifth child. His son cannot seem to stick with a job and refuses suggestions for career and trades. I am president of the business my late husband owned. I retired from my nursing career to take on the role when he died. The business is very successful, but definitely in a niche company. John retired from his management position when we married. He moved into my large mortgage free home He moved into my large mortgage free home. He received Social Security and has completed 5 years of spousal support. His second wife, his second ex wife, got nearly half of his pension and other financial assets. That said, he has invested, spending money on his adult children. When we married, we agreed that his expenses, his credit card, his vehicle, and his two small homes he still owns would be his responsibility. Since I have more assets, I agreed that I would pay for our entertainment, groceries, meals, and vacations. I have close to 5 million in assets. Did she start off wrong? Did she start off wrong? I don't know. He's accustomed to a certain lifestyle right now. All right. I offered to help him pay for flight lessons, a bucket list item. We would meet in the middle for other things. The computer is acting slow too. Let me close some of this so it could stop acting like come back. Baby, come back. Because it's acting slow. All right. Hopefully that'll close out there. All right. His younger son and family are living in one of the small homes that John owns. John has not seen any rent from his son in 4 years. He started paying for utilities and water after they shut it off. He stops by with groceries and things for the kids. John also helps his 20-something-year-old daughter who has several vices and subsequently can't make ends meet. Let me kill this one too. This Kindle. Let me kill that. Maybe that'll help out. All right. Still acting slow. Let me get it right. Oh, come on now. There we go. She can't make ends meet. When John visits his very stressful son and daughter across the country several times a year, he pays for all the meals, buys all the groceries. It sometimes amounts to thousands of dollars. I have seen his credit card statements each time. Scroll down, scroll. John does not want to take out much. John does not want to take much out of his investments. Basically, his entire Social Security check goes towards supporting his younger 2 children, and he lives on a couple of $1,000s a month, with paying me the rest in bills. Prenuptial agreement versus pooling assets. Well, they already married. John cannot meet his own expenses given that he helps his kids so much, and more often than not, I'm paying for his credit card bill, which is substantial. I'm also making his truck payment. We argue about finances all the time. I get a sense that he feels unhappy about me being less than generous. He thinks we should pool our assets. I have actually told him that I didn't sign up to be financially support his kids when we married. I'm also trying to be smart with my investments. Come on. There we go. Our prenuptial agreement stirred up resentment when we were completing the process. I have included John in my estate planning. He has not done the same with me, which I am okay with since I have considerable assets. We're seeing a counselor with little resolution. I see no end in sight to this situation. Anything I say seems to be the wrong approach. It builds further resentment from him and results in him saying things like, I don't like his kids and I am selfish. This is obviously not the great for a new marriage. I have no idea when we married how reliant his kids are on him financially. Am I being less than generous? What should I do? What should she do? What should she do, D? Hopefully this will catch up because I'm still seeing slowdown, even though I have closed off stuff. Discouraged in Iowa. They're in Iowa. All right, so here we go. Sometimes the clue is in the question. Sometimes the clue is in the question. You wanted a husband, not a dependent. At this time of your life, as you glide towards retirement with 5 million in investments and look forward to less pressure financially and a stable life emotionally, John has brought disruption rather Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm back. It died on me in the middle of a stream. Ain't that about nothing? Jace was sticking around. Just died on me. We was getting to the good part. Pulling our assets together. All right. So let's finish this up. Yep. Your husband has two ex-wives and two children whom he continues to infantile, and two other children he wants to impress by spending dollars, hoodwinked and guilted into paying bills. So where do you go from here? First, you have essentially been hoodwinked into a financial situation that you did not sign up for. Secondly, you somehow allowed yourself to be guilted into paying for bills, which allows him to continue to support his kids. Third, he has shown no willingness to change given the lack of progress in your counseling sessions rather than acknowledging his mistakes and showing appreciation for the fact that you're writing most of the checks. He is resentful. This is a bad sign. You need to switch gears from marriage counseling to financial advice, a third party divorce to bring reason and perspective, and frankly more equitable behavior to your financial lives. A reasonable solution will involve commitments from both of you. John will have to cut back or end the excessive spending on his family at the expense of his marital funds. And this is another problem too, right? When you have kids like this, when you have this like this, yeah, I was plugged up, Sway. When you have kids and stuff like this, the last thing a woman is gonna do is try to come between you and your kids. You're just not. You're just not gonna be like you gotta pick me or him or me or your child. Like you're not gonna do that, right? You will have to stop paying his credit card bills and car loan. Don't pull your assets together. Give yourself a strict timeline to see change. If nothing happens, discuss the situation with your attorney, your children, and perhaps your closest friend. You need a team of people to help you navigate your financial and personal concerns. You can't brew a decent cuppa with the grounds. I guess it's supposed to be a cup of tea. I guess cuppa with the grounds from his family coffee. It ain't gonna work. Let me close this up. All right. What do you do in this case? I feel like an idiot. I need every cent to retire. I gave a friend $20,000 to buy me a car. He ghosted me and I called the police. So you gave your friend $20,000. They ghosted you, never called you back. What would you do? It was published May 25th. It was a friend. All right, let's go. I believe the friend who talked me into giving him $20,000 with the promise he would buy me a car for me and my wife. He didn't even trust the wife. He didn't even trust the wife. I knew this guy. We met several times in person. He explained that once I gave him the money, I could trust him. This happened in March of 2021. I have contacted police and gave them everything I knew about this guy, his address, his phone number, and email. The guy lives in another state, so getting a lawyer is tough, but not impossible, just costly. The guy has since ghosted me and has not responded to my texts or emails. To top it off, I have no real proof. Only one witness who was scammed as well. Most of my proof is text messages with T-Mobile for legal reasons. They can't give me a copy of our texts. I feel like an idiot. I need every cent to retire, and I just want my money back. When dealing with friends, the business partners, cash is not king. In an ideal world, trust someone before you give them money, and whether it's a business or personal, always get a receipt. If it's a loan, you need to sign a notarized loan agreement. If none of the above happens, the recipient can merely claim it's a gift. In California, theft by false pretenses involves one party taking your property by either lying to you or by making a false promise. The fact that the false pretenses is a theft crime by just shoplifting or grand theft auto, according to Shaw's California Law Group. If you are charged with this crime, you may face same kinds of penalties as someone who is charged with one of those more conventional kinds of theft, right? It says you can threaten to go to district attorney's office for the Better Business Bureau in addition to police. It does not repay you your money. Send him a registered letter that establishes a firm deadline and what you will do as outlined above. The hard truth. The hard truth is that this money is likely gone. Without a receipt, it's your word against his. If you are 60 or if you are age 65 or older, his actions could be seen as elder abuse, which is defined as physical or emotional abuse, neglect, or financial exploitation of someone 65 or older. Elder abuse in California is punishable either as a meaner, which could result in a term in county jail as 1 year, or as a felony, which is punishable by up to 4 years in state prison. If it was an electronic transfer, you can compile your documentary evidence, which refers to any written or recorded material that is relevant to alleged crimes, right? Hefty legal fees. This could include things like receipts, invoices, bank statements, contracts, so on. The law firm that evidence helps establish ownership or prove financial transactions related to stolen property. Documents help establish a clear timeline of events. If you handed this person $20,000 in cash, it would be extremely challenging to prove that this was not a gift. In fact, that you gave him the money at all, it could be his word against yours, and a reputable attorney will tell you whether it's even worth pursuing or not. It's a lot of money, but it could end up costing you so much in legal fees by the time you're done. It's not worth it. Hiring an attorney to help you fight the case between 250 to 800 an hour, 5,000 or 5,000 to 25,000 for fraud. Your case is too large to file in small claims courts, and hiring an attorney could end up costing you thousands of dollars in legal fees and so forth. Do you still want to go through that to get your $20,000 back? $20,000. Good old Cali. You're right. All right. I think this is our last one. He's planning to bleed me dry. My husband turned into a monster after we got married. I own a 1.3 million home, a $1.3 million home. How do I save myself and my finances? Hold on. Let me look at this one. They think I'm rich because I have a very nice house. My friends order drinks and pricey dishes in restaurants. Is it rude to ask for a separate check? The good old separate check. And last but not least, we're going to figure out which one we want to do. I'm divorcing after a lot of heartache. Should I suggest my husband keep his $200,000 in the 401k so I could take the $360,000 house? Which one do we want to go after, D? One, two, or three? One is he's planning to bleed me dry. My husband turned into a monster after we married. I own a $1.3 million home. How do I save myself and my finances? Do we order separate checks when we go out to lunch and dinner? Or I'm divorcing after a lot of heartache. Should I suggest my husband keep his $200,000 in his 401k so I can take the $360,000 house. Which one do y'all want to hear? Demon giving me the blues in the background over here. You're skipping. You need to order a new headphone set. This is ridiculous. You're struggle streaming. What we doing? I guess I could put my earrings on too. End of the stream. Since we ending the stream. Private chat is for everybody. Okay, I'm gonna go with the first one. He is planning to bleed me dry. Let's go. When I met my husband in 2019, he was charming, bought me gifts, and told me I was the most beautiful woman in the world. He wrote me the most eloquent and loving text messages which I would save in my phone because I thought they were priceless poems he could share with our grandchildren. After a whirlwind romance where I felt like he saw all the gifts that I had to offer him: love, humor, companionship, and it turned out and it as it turned out, financial stability. We married. He proposed after 3 months. That's when we lived happily ever after. Right? Wrong. He turned into a monster days before our wedding. He was a different person. He gave me the silent treatment on vacation, had fits of rage over nothing, and fell into sudden moods lasting weeks. He blamed me for talking about my career and accused me of being self centered. I thought he was depressed or had some other neurological issues. But if his sister called, he would miraculously brighten up and act like he did when we first met. If I said I was leaving, he would become compassionate and loving again. He was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Secret bank accounts. We live in a home in Los Angeles, and I bought prior to our marriage for 900,000, and now it's worth 1.3 million. I have a 401k and 140,000 in a savings account. I am planning to my escape after 5 long years, feeling foolish for staying in this marriage for so long. He worked freelance and relied on me to pay most of the bills. Everything was always everyone else's fault. Clients never paid him, or so he said. He always kept his bank account secret. This man is going to bleed me dry. He has said as much. He makes scathing references to my wealthy family. I know now that he doesn't love me. And if he does, it is not the kind of love that makes me happy. It's a controlling and changeable kind of love. For a long time, I thought I was going crazy until one by one, my friends told me they did not believe he was good for me. I know he chats to other women online. I'm not sure if he has ever been faithful to me in his heart or otherwise. I was relatively happy, stable person before I met him. Today, I'm a shadow of my former self. Should I start hiding my money? How do I save myself and my finances? This is a doozy. Let's go. In most divorce cases, especially in a community property state like California, couples are instructed to divide their marital assets down the middle. And as part of the settlement, they are allowed to keep what they own personally, which personally, such as clothing and jewelry. You take out of a marriage what you brought into it. But this grows more complicated when a home has appreciated during a marriage, or when marital assets were used to pay the mortgage. Because you purchased the home prior to that, it is separate property under law. The judge is also likely to take into account that your husband never contributed financially to the household during your marriage. A good lawyer will make sure that that's front and center in your divorce. Should your husband ask for alimony in lieu of leaving the house, or in lieu of you living in the house? California does not have a required maximum or minimum length of marriage for alimony. But the shorter the marriage, the lower and more short lived the alimony payments is. So she may have to pay alimony. She may have to pay alimony. Alimony is tax deductible for the payer and reported as income to the payee if paid under divorce or separation agreement executed before 2019. But you can't deduct alimony as separate maintenance payments under a divorce or separation agreement executed after 2018 or executed before 2019, but later modified in the modification expressly states repeal of deduction. All right, let's go. Keep meticulous records. Don't allow yourself to be hoodwinked or bullied. If your husband contributes any significant way to upkeep or renovations of your home, remember when you upkeep or get somebody put in upkeep or renovations of the current home that you live in, it is now a marital aspect. It is called commingling. It says to keep the upkeep and the renovations of home, you could risk commingling that asset. That is changing it from separate to marital property. If you fail to keep your mortgage account separate from your husband, once again, that could mean that the property could be commingled. Similarly, if you received an inheritance and deposited that money into a joint account instead of a separate bank account, that money is now commingled. Hire a good divorce attorney and enlist the confidential support of close friends and family. I don't recommend that you try anything untoward. Narcissists and love bombers, as you have discovered, can be very conniving and charming and charming. That is after how they succeed in drawing people into their world. If you were seen to hide money prior to your divorce, a judge could look unfavorably in your case. A judge is likely to notice any sudden generous payments towards your mortgage or car loan and could even penalize you for them. That's the kind of superstitious action that one has gone against others even years after the fact. One of the most famous cases, the 1996 case, a California woman won a 1.3 million in a lottery and filed for divorce 11 days later. She didn't tell her husband or anyone else about the windfall. 2 years later, her husband found out about it. They always do, and sued her. And then a judge said that she acted out of fraud and malice and awarded her husband all of her winnings. Had she been honest, they would have walked away with about half. So she went from hero to zero. Love bombing and breadcrumbing. Love bombing is relatively primitive, but highly effective tactic identified by psychologists as one of the used as one used by manipulative or narcissistic people. They identify exactly what it is that you want in life and give it to you tenfold: love, attention, gifts, promises, affection, and dream of an idyllic life together where you will both live happily ever after. You are caught up in the whirlwind of romance, which is itself a temporary early stage in any relationship, and you buy into the image he presents of himself as a kind, loving, compassionate man of your dreams. Not Greg at Walmart. If you were simply being treated like an inconvenience, you should have left a long time ago. But breadcrumbing leaves a figurative trail that gives you hope that you will find your way back to the man of your dreams. Perhaps if you helped him identify and resolve his emotional problems or revisited his dysfunctional childhood, the man you met in 2019 would appear with the same open heart and gentle disposition. So he goes back and forth between the two tactics, leaving you with just enough breadcrumbs to keep you hopeful and invested in your relationship. He said he is treating you like as the world turns. He is treating her just like what's his name on the Young and the Restless? Victor Newman. He treating her like Victor Newman. The most obvious question for this healthy, rational people is why bother? Why love bomb? If he didn't love you or like you or treat you with respect, why on earth would he even be aware of himself. But some people will do whatever it takes to get what they want. It might be 1.3 million, a 1.3 million house, or their partner's family fortune, or it could simply be the need to control and isolate another human being. Did she marry a Pookie? Is this a Pookie? Is this a Pookie? A love bombing Pookie? All right. So the Health and Wellness University of Boulder, Colorado has detailed guide on how to identify love bombers and help friends who are in situations like yours. Let's go back to 2018. Remember the person you were then, content, secure, planning for your financial future. Yes, the kind of person you trusted, that people are who they are to say they are. It's shocking and confusing to learn that a person like a Ponzi scheme can appear to be this dynamic, dynamic, and bring a good fortune, but turn out to be empty and corrupt and full of lies. Your expectations are now zero. That's good. You are no longer normalizing a abnormal behavior. Says that the study says what was your life like before this relationship? How was your life changed since the being in this relationship? Do you spend your time differently than it before? Is there anyone you've lost touch with since your relationship started? Do you and your friend or partner want the same things out of the relationship? What expectations do you have for this relationship? Be kind to yourself. You're leaving this marriage because you have learned that what you need to learn in order to get out. You can apply this experience to other parts of your life, work, friendships, future relationships. You can recognize the signs of a bad actor and help friends to do the same, so they don't end up in toxic relationship or marriage with a person who is hungry for control, money, or both. When the ink is dry on the divorce papers, allow yourself to heal and knowing that what red flags to watch out for the next time around to trust again. He said he was a con. Then you silly. I see your message in the back. Love bombing. This is a detailed guide here. 6 things everyone should know about love bombing. What is love bombing? What does love bombing look like? Over the top gifts, jealousy, constant reassurance, sudden distance and coldness. Why is love bombing harmful? What should someone do if they suspect love bombing? Set boundaries, take inventory, take talk to an objective third party, accept sometimes things just don't work out, prioritize safety. How can I help a friend who is being love bombed? What resources are available? And they have a list of resources right here. Fellas, do you know when y'all are being love bombed? Do fellas know? Do you know when a lady is love bombing you? Can you recognize that behavior? I don't know. Well, folks, that is the end of our show. I appreciate you. We did 2 hours. 5 of it was trying to get the computer to restart. I appreciate y'all. Don't go out here and get love bombed. Don't commingle your assets. Don't go out here and save them. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Don't save them. Right? We still out here. If you still out here trying to save them, don't do it. Save yourself. Choose you. All right.